very warm welcome to all the viewers of Crypto TV. This is Manoj Dara. We have a special guest with Mr. Esteban, co-founding member of IBEX. Let us learn from him how this IBEX is changing, is bringing in a change as far as payment is concerned with Bitcoin. Sir, welcome on Crypto TV.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for being here. I'm very happy to share this with I think one of the biggest economies that needs this most. We make Bitcoin easy, and our main priority is financial inclusion, is really bring the good things of Bitcoin on the payment layer side, cross-currency, cross-border micropayments. So imagine you can, charge 50 cents, $1 in Bitcoin, and you receive rupees in your bank account. That's what we're about. And if you want to save in Bitcoin, you can also keep the Bitcoin.
So since you have mentioned about the initiative which your company has taken as far as payment is concerned, can you just take us through the tech initiative which your company has taken as far as payments are concerned? What are the kind of technology you have adopted and you are working on?
Well, we're working straight and only with the Bitcoin Lightning network, which what Bitcoin Lightning enables you as a layer 2 on the Bitcoin chain is instant payments with instant settlement at almost no fee. That's why I can send $1 cent around the world in 3 seconds. So how do we make Bitcoin easy? Is we create a solution for the merchant to go to our website, ibexmercado.com, put in your name, your email, and you're ready to receive payments in Bitcoin from anywhere around the world for whatever product you're selling.
Sure. We are talking about Bitcoin, which is roughly around over 50% of the entire cryptocurrency, as far as market weight is concerned. What's your outlook on Bitcoin? If you can just share this thing with our viewers.
Yeah. First and foremost, I think it's important to separate. There's Bitcoin and then there's the crypto space. The crypto space is basically projects, with people that have good intentions and they're doing their best to fulfill their promise. Bitcoin, on the other hand, is already the internet of money. There's no question about it, that it's already there, it's fulfilled its promise. And the interesting part for our economies to understand is it is the best way to hedge against inflation, to really stop selling your time for something that you can't control, because when you work, you sell your time. And when you're paid in rupees, for example, you're receiving something that is unlimited, that you can't control. And Bitcoin, there's only 21 million and they will never be more. So it is a great saving strategy. It gives us also purpose in our daily life, because then you start, doing the effort of saving. In today's society, you've brought up to spend, and don't save, because, if I'm happy, I'm going to produce more. And at some point, a lot of money is going to come in. But it really isn't like that. Money doesn't grow on trees. We have to think of how are we preserving the value that we're generating today in this moment, and not for tomorrow, but for the next 10 years.
Sure. So you spoke about Bitcoin as a hedge against inflation. There is one more initiative which the community, as far as stablecoin community, has taken. We are talking about Terra, who has already announced that they will hold roughly around 10 billion worth of Bitcoin, and they have already gone ahead and purchased roughly around 1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin. What is your outlook as far as, what's your comment on this, first of all?
Yeah. Well, to be sincere, we don't believe in stablecoins. I don't think it's needed. The depth of the liquidity of Bitcoin doesn't make it. You put Bitcoin straight to fiat, whatever it is. There's no need to be anything in between. Now, there are certain use cases if you want to keep the, through, at the moment, like, let's say, you don't have access to banking and you want to hold that value, you're going to go to a stablecoin. And that's a fair point. But in general, it's actually better to just hold Bitcoin and save it and keep it on the long term, right? Because there's never going to be more than 21 million and the price is completely irrelevant. The only relevance in Bitcoin is how much time you're going to hold it. The longer you hold it, the more it's going to be worth.
Sure.
So that's what it's all about.
So you spoke about Bitcoin, you gave a comment on the stablecoin. There is some initiative as far as central bank digital currency is concerned. There are roughly around 80 odd countries who are working around the CBDC. What is your comment on this CBDC, and how different is going to how different your approach will be as far as CBDC is concerned versus your business model?
Well, that's exactly your answer. Why you don't need stablecoins, because you're gonna have CBDCs. They're inevitable, and that's the thing that's coming. It's not competing against Bitcoin though. There's a misconception there. Bitcoin is saving, CBDCs is spending. You're gonna save in Bitcoin. You're gonna spend in your, local currency. That's what it's about.
Sure. Can you just take us through your area of operations? Which all geographical areas you are present as of now?
Yeah, our IBEX Pay, which you can go to ibexmercado.com and receive Bitcoin payments instantly. That's global. Anyone in the world can hold it if you hold Bitcoin. We're doing the fiat conversion, as we call it here, like the money conversion in your bank account, is in El Salvador, Guatemala, Mexico, and the US. Yeah.
So you spoke about you mentioned about El Salvador. What's going on in that North American country?
That's our neighboring country. That's why we're operating there. It is impressive to see how they've seen and noticed that for developing economies as ours that are struggling with financial inclusion, Bitcoin as payment rails is the way. So that's why they created it as their legal tender. But it is the biggest and the most efficient banking effort that has ever been done. It's 4 million users in 3 months. No bank has ever done that. And there's a fundamental thing to it. As a bank, you need money for your business model to work. So why are you going to go to a community that doesn't have that much money? Because then your business model is not working, right? So that's what Bitcoin makes it so interesting. Anybody can hold it, anybody can use it. And that's a way that you can ramp them in, and then you bring them into the traditional financial system. And there's a lot of things that are coming. And I think for our economies, it's very important to understand also, because I mentioned save in Bitcoin. So you're not only going to save because it gains value, but mostly because it gives you a track record. And then you can use it as a collateral. So let's say you want a loan. Bitcoin is the best way to put a collateral on a loan. And it's accessible to anyone. You can buy, small pieces, whatever you can buy. In El Salvador, they're doing 50 cents, $1. That's what they're saving every day, a little bit. And then it's growing. And then you can actually do that and get a credit, which usually you would have to have a house. Not many people can afford a house anymore.
Sure. Can you just take us through any use cases, by using your platform, where an individual can buy say maybe a land or a real estate, or if you can just take us through what all use case utilities are there as far as IBEX is concerned.
Well, our customers, they range widely. In El Salvador, they're big chain stores like Starbucks, Wendy's, Domino's. We have over 400 points installed. In Guatemala, we have gas stations, beauty salons, you name it, we got it. In Guatemala as well. Mexico, we have a lot of apps. Exodus, for example, is one of our customers as well. We do the infrastructure part for banks, for big institutions that have a lot of transactions. We enable them to give this 3-second payment option to their users. And so why should you do it? Well, because anybody can pay you any amount from anywhere. And you can choose if you want to hold Bitcoin or not. And yeah.
So talking about India's regulation, how concerned are you, or what is the view of IBEX on the India regulation?
Well, basically, it shows that the regulators have not understood the severity of what it means to create so many hurdles to access to this global monetary network. For India, the best is to have all your people and give them access to financial tools. And if you take it away from them, there's no way you're going to be able to talk about real financial inclusion. And real financial inclusion is important. It's key for our societies to grow and to give everybody a fair chance of working themselves from wherever the situation they are in. And that's what Bitcoin does. It gives you that track record. You can start with whatever you have at hand, but the issue here is you need to understand it. And that's education. So I congratulate for what you're doing, because this is exactly what you need to be doing. If you can have the best technology, but if the people don't understand it, they're never going to use it. And the regulator, well, they always adapt because that's what they do. You execute enough pressure and they will have to adapt.
So, what's your outlook on the gaming sector as far as it's rapidly picking up, and what are the initiative IBEX is taking in terms of taking this advantage of this robust growth which the sector is witnessing?
Yeah, basically, we believe that any payment digitally, because it needs final settlement, it needs to be real money at some point. It's just easier to do it with Bitcoin Lightning. So you can, pay 10 cents for your digital sword, and you do it through Lightning because the liquidity is there, and the gamer or the gaming house, let's put it, the software, the one that created the game, receives dollars in their bank account.
Sure.
They can pay their bills and everything is going well.
Sure.
And they can choose to save.
Sure. That's it. Thank you so much for talking to us, and pleasure to have you on Crypto TV. We hope that IBEX goes on expanding its geographical areas and finds success going forward. Thank you so much.
I hope we meet again.
Thank you so much.